Hey everyone, I'm here on the Grand Avenue Bridge walking over the Quinnipiac River, heading towards Quinnipiac Avenue, where we're going to check out a recently completed traffic calming and pedestrian safety project. So similar to the video I put out a little while ago about the Valley Street traffic calming project, this one's very similar. It's a kind of a major road, but through a residential neighborhood, so there's a lot of traffic volume, there's a lot of speeding complaints, and a bit of some pedestrian safety issues. So some of the improvements we're going to see along this tour today: new pavement on the road, vertical traffic calming elements such as raised intersections, raised crosswalks, and speed tables, and some intersection geometry improvements, right sizing some overly designed intersections, and some new crosswalks and sidewalks. So let's go and check it out. Now we're here on Quinnipiac Ave, just a little bit north of Grand Avenue. We can see the start of the project here. The road's been repaved. We have our first traffic calming element of a speed table. So there's a bus route on Quinnipiac Ave. We like to use speed tables on bus routes compared to speed humps because they're a bit more comfortable for passengers. We have some sidewalk repair in this area. This sidewalk was not in great shape. Some of it was asphalt sidewalk, and our standard is concrete. So improving the pedestrian connectivity up here. And we're going to see a series of traffic calming elements to keep people in compliance with 25 all the way through this road. Here is the intersection of Quinnipiac Ave and Runo Terrace. We have our first raised intersection. So we got new crosswalks going across the street here. This intersection has some not great sight lines because of these retaining walls. So this is a great way to slow down cars as they get into the intersection, making sure that people aren't speeding coming up Quinnipiac Ave, so that people exiting, like that car right there, have enough time to judge the gaps and enter the intersection. Raised intersections are also great for pedestrian accessibility because instead of the typical design where pedestrians ramp down, cross at street level, and then ramp back up to the other side, it's a nice level way to cross while vehicles are slowed down as they traverse this elongated speed table. Over here is the intersection with Hemingway Street. We have another raised intersection with new crosswalks, and this is our first example of an intersection geometric improvement. So all that grass area used to be excess asphalt, and that allowed people to make that turn from Quinnipiac onto Hemingway at a very quick speed. So now we've teed up the intersection here, so people have to make a little bit sharper of a turn, slows them down. The raised intersection helps with that. And we reduce the amount of asphalt space that has to be maintained in the future. Over here you can see the old catch basin that used to be along the existing curb for this intersection. So all this grass area and new sidewalk is reclaimed asphalt space. And anytime a raised intersection or raised crosswalk goes in, there's some drainage design that needs to be done because the raised table will block the existing drainage patterns along the gutter. So over here, to fix that, there is a cut in the curb. So stormwater running down the road will enter the cut. And then it has all of this new permeable area to drain back into the road instead of going into the sewer. The old catch basin is there to act as an overflow in case there's a lot of rain. Otherwise, this is great for green stormwater infrastructure. Here under the railroad overpass, this is an area that during heavy rains tends to flood a bit. And up until this project was complete, if this area floods, city crews have to come out here and manually place some barricades to stop people from driving through the floodwaters. As part of this project, a new floodgate was installed. It has a sensor that will detect if there's water over the road and will automatically lower to prevent people from driving here, and people will have to turn around and detour to a non-flooded street. Here's that river, which is the source of the rainy day flooding. You can see how high it is compared to the existing road, even on a dry day. But here we are over on the other side of the railroad underpass. We have another floodgate to automatically lower if there's water over the road. We're going to walk up towards the intersection with Essex Street. But before we get there, this old gas station had one long continuous curb cut all the way down there. So 2 new driveway aprons were put at either end, a nice vertical curb and new sidewalk. so that pedestrians feel a bit safer walking through here. Now this is the intersection with Essex Street, and this was a wide expanse of asphalt. So the road goes up at an angle that way, and the old curb went all the way down to about there, and that was all paved. So that excess asphalt space has been reclaimed. There's soil and grass now in its place. That will allow some stormwater to infiltrate back into the ground. It's also a whole lot less asphalt to maintain in the future when this road has to be repaved in about 15 or 20 years. Because of the angle and that big expanse of asphalt, that allowed people to make a really quick turn off of Quinnipiac onto Essex. Now they have to make more of a 90-degree turn. Shortens the crosswalk through here a lot. We also have a raised crosswalk up here, just to provide that continuous series of raised elements on the road, whether that's speed tables or raised crosswalks or raised intersections. Just a lot of sidewalk and curb repair going up the road this way. And over here is the intersection with Foxen Street. This is the last raised intersection on the project before it gets to the intersection up there with Foxen Boulevard. Another great addition for pedestrian safety through here. And there was a minor intersection realignment, so this just came straight out to the intersection here. So just a little bit of teeing up, just to force people to slow down and reclaim some excess asphalt and provide space for pedestrians to cross. Now we're coming up to the end of the project at the intersection with Foxen Boulevard, Connecticut State Route 80. So this is the end of the repaving, some final line restriping through here, and some sidewalk and driveway repair. And that's it. We hope that the community enjoys the reconstructed Quinnipiac Ave.